Hello guys, I am back. I have wide earphones, I found them, so hopefully the audio quality is a bit better. I've been so busy. I've been so busy. I obviously it was the Christmas period with New Year's. I was working a lot. I spent a lot of time seeing friends and family. And on that note, this is what made me think of this video, to be honest. I was thinking a lot over Christmas, which is funny because given such a busy period, you'd think I'd have no time to think, but so many thoughts going on up in there. But yeah, I spent Christmas with my lovely friend Rebecca and her family and her boyfriend Harry. And I also saw my family on Boxing Day, my mum's side, and it was so weird having everyone all in one place at one time. I got to see my lovely little niece. But anyway, back to the point of the video. Yeah, I was thinking a lot over Christmas, and having spent Christmas with these people, I realised just how important and valuable they are to me. Now, sometimes I find it a bit weird to spend Christmas with friends because I feel like I'm intruding, right? But going over there, I found that I was more than welcome, that I was absolutely one of them. You know, it was nothing felt strange, nothing felt, what's the word? Foreign, I guess. Good lord. Yeah, no, it all felt very natural and very comfortable for me, and they did every effort to make sure of that. And that made me realise just how important Rebecca is to me. And, you know, she's one of the few people that I've let in, because there's this cultural message, societal message, is that, like, no one is permanent, and, like, it's drilled so hard. You know, cut people off. These things should be on mugs, they should be on t-shirts, they should be on billboards. People should wear them as neon signs above their heads, and I'm sure they do, because I can pick those guys out from the rest of them. It's very drilled into our society to not be, you know, to be independent, but independence is like disguised as isolation, really. But the reality is that caring is human. You know, it's not weak. And the fear of loss means that the relationship matters, right? Connection should carry that weight. Connection should carry a force, a brunt that might make you feel that way. If it's important enough, if it's valuable enough. You know, if you think, if I lose this relationship tomorrow, how will it impact me? Will I feel that loss? Connection is so important. And, you know, detachment isn't always maturity. It's self-defense. You know, it's when you pretend to not care, it becomes a habit, it becomes cyclical. And I'm awful for this. I am actually like the poster child of, I should have a neon sign above my head saying, you know, no one is permanent, cut people off. I'm the worst for it. And, you know, in this past year, I've been trying to become better at letting go of this habit. In letting go of the I should be afraid to lose people, and, you know, people aren't placeholders. And I've known this, I've always known this. People aren't placeholders, people aren't throwaway. You know, people are, what's the word? I can't think of the word, never mind. But the point I'm trying to make is people can change your entire trajectory, for the good or for the bad. And it's important that you recognise which of those connections that you have will change your trajectory for the good. Now, an example of this is Rebecca. You know, I don't know where I would have been without her this year. She has been my rock. She has been my one stability throughout everything. She has been my one consistency. And, you know, I think I'm going to make her turn grey very young. You know, I'll message her or we'll meet up in person and I'll be like, I'm thinking about doing this awful, heinous thing that will probably do me bad. Should I do it? And she'll be like, no. And then I'll still go and do it because, unfortunately, I'm my own worst enemy. I self-sabotage. It's my hamartia, okay? It's my fatal flaw. But the thing is, she will continue to support me throughout because, at the end of the day, everyone's going to make reckless and stupid decisions. But it's about who you have to support you through those reckless and stupid decisions. And obviously, you've got to know when to stop, or when to just stop sharing these things with those people, because at what point do they just become sick of you not listening to them. But that's besides the point. This is a whole other subject, whole other tin of worms that I'm not ready to open. That's a different video. But again, back to self-sabotage. I am terribly avoidant. I love to ignore people. I love to not text back. I love to keep an emotional distance. I love to not let people in. And this is self-sabotage. This is self-sabotage at its finest, you know. I'm awful for it. I will go days without messaging a friend because at what point have I left it too long? I will avoid letting people get too close, and I will find a way to cut things off before they can hurt me. And again, this is a terrible habit, and I'm trying to become better. I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, because in my head, they're still going to hurt me. But the thing is, where are you without trust? You will never get anywhere without trust. It's like they say that respect... This is another thing that's drilled in society, you know, respect is earned, not given. But I think without giving any sort of ground level of mutual respect, you will never be able to grow and blossom that respect. And that goes the same with like connections and relationships and friendships and every other shit that you can think of, you know. And, you know, being afraid to lose people isn't the same as begging them to stay. You've got to have some sort of self-respect in this regard. So if someone wants to leave your life, you should absolutely let them. I think in certain contexts. So I think some people are worth fighting for, and those people you should absolutely fight to keep in your life, and you should try to understand why they want to leave or why they have to leave. And at the same time, you should value and respect their thoughts and their feelings in regards to all of this. You know, but at the same time, valuing someone is not... You shouldn't value someone whilst abandoning yourself. So you should still hold yourself in the highest regard, and you should still put yourself on the pedestal in regards to where you want your connections in life to be. So what I mean by that is never put anyone's feelings above your own. You know, people should add value to your life. They should never take it away. And if begging someone to stay is what removes value and happiness from your life, then they absolutely need to go. And that's easier said than done, and I'm the worst for that. Okay, I hold my hands up. I'm not perfect. I will absolutely lose a little bit of self-respect and dignity in an attempt to make someone stay. And again, I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to understand when it's the time to let people leave. I'm getting there, okay? Because why do we do this? Losing people hurts, right? It really fucking hurts, and that's absolutely normal. It's grief. Again, we've gone over this. It's normal to grieve people. But pain in this regard isn't failure. It's proof that you were open and that you were appreciating and honouring that connection that you had with that person. And, you know, avoiding attachment is also losing. Like, if you flip it on its head, avoiding attachment is also losing. It's just a way slower process, you know. You will drag this thing on, and you will drag both parties through it, and it will just become more and more painful and more of a burden. And you've got to know when to cut things off. And, you know, simultaneously, you should always love people fully whilst they're still here. Now, I have gone through an absolutely turbulent year last year. Don't even want to talk about it. But without the people that I had to surround me, I wouldn't have coped on my own. And, you know, that's like my favourite thing to do, is to cope on my own. But I would not have, point blank period, I would not have coped. And the fear of loss shouldn't stop you from making connections. The fear of loss shouldn't be what holds you back, because it's like you'll buy a t-shirt and you know eventually one day it's going to get a hole in it, but you're going to buy it anyway because you know it will serve you purpose whilst it's there. And I'm not saying you should use people, don't take that out of context. But again, this goes back to people should add value to your life. It's just like things add value to your life, you know. I made this cardigan. in the summer, and I finished it in the winter, and ever since then I've been wearing it non-stop. This has added value to my life. Rebecca has added value to my life. Jack has added value to my life. There are so many people that I'm so appreciative of, and if I was afraid to let them in the first place, then I wouldn't be where I am now, right? And I think that's where I'm going to conclude this video, because it's getting a bit long. I'm trying to keep them all under 10 minutes, but it's just not really working for me. I will cut some bits out. But anyway, I hope you all had a lovely holiday period. I know I did. It was fantastic. I've been putting off making a video for like God knows how long now, because it seems really silly and very vapid, but I tanked the humidity in my room down to 0. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, okay? I don't know what I was doing, but I tanked the humidity in my room and it made my skin break out so bad. So bad. And I was feeling quite self-conscious, so I didn't want to make a video. And also, I've been busy with the Christmas period. I started knitting Rebecca a jumper. Similar colours. I've also started knitting myself a jumper. I've been so busy with work. And also, it's just not been very sunny out. And I like to record when it's sunny, because then I've got somewhat good lighting. It's still a little bit gloomy right now, but I figured I've got time off. There's no time like now. Anyway, I'm rambling. I love you all. I hope you're happy, healthy. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.